much. I'm really honored to be with you all here today. Your Excellency, beautiful words, very inspiring. Ladies and gentlemen, today is a very important day, a day where we all come together to discuss the strengths and weaknesses of women and how these are reflected in our societies. In order to do that, I'm asking myself several questions, and I want to start with, what is the place of us women in today's society? This question is rather broad, and yet it encapsulates the essence of the solution, as well as the issue. Women have been championed and empowered over the last decades, and I congratulate all these wonderful and strong men and women who made this change a reality. However, as we just heard, we are not there yet. All of us in this room are aware of how poverty and inequality, just naming two, drives the societal differences between men and women, between the global south and the global north. Violence against women, especially in underdeveloped countries, is a human rights abuse and a global epidemic. In 2012 alone, around 120 million girls worldwide were reported to have experienced sexual violence at some point in their lives. Every year, around 41,000 girls are married before their 18th birthday. Millions of girls who are entering unequal partnerships where they face the bleak prospect of a lifetime of violence, illness, and even death from unwanted and unplanned pregnancies and economic dependence. What am I saying here? I'm saying that yes, we have come a very long way in women's rights and women empowerment in today's society. However, we are far from being done. Therefore, the second question I'm asking myself, what is the place of women in society now? In my opinion, women have not yet entirely found their place in society. We're still not equal in the world of business, and at the same time, there's also a problem of childbirth rates. Mothers find it harder and harder to be mothers, as maternity leaves are getting shorter and governments are continuously investing less in families. Women are too important not to be taken care of in all of their functions, let it be motherhood or professional life, whatever her choice. To elaborate a bit further on this growing issue, to have a healthy society, there needs to be a 2% rate of childbirth per family in order to sustain a population. This is a cultural issue because families where culture is harnessed and transmitted to future generations. Western countries are losing their culture. One could argue that immigration is ever more important nowadays in order to bridge this gap between the decrease of childbirth in Western cultures and the need for children as future assets of one's society and workforce. With the influx of new cultures, there's a greater diversity of women. We are not talking about one kind of woman, but a multiplicity of free and engaged femininities. The issue is not if a woman has found her place in society. We have to sustain a diverse type of society to match the demand of a globalized world. There's not one kind of woman, like there's not one path. There are many ways of living one's social, economic, and political freedom. Looking at the diversity of women today, I see a bright future. The Women Economic Forum stands for the values of empowerment, inclusion, and dialogue between men and women globally, within any given situation. This is also the direction society is taking in accepting one another, fighting for the freedom to live together, the freedom to work together, and the freedom to refuse to live in fear of one another. Therefore, the last question I was asking myself while thinking about the role of us women in today's society is, what more can be achieved in order for women to flourish? We're moving towards the right direction, but it is important not to give up and stay in that perspective of acceptance, diversity, inclusion, and fearlessness. Men are as important as women in making this possible, and so let's not try to womanize this world, but try instead to diversify it. Let's live free, respectfully towards each other, and include all opinions in this dialogue, even those that might seem controversially progressive or conservative. Everything has to be considered, even though not everything has to be applied. Freedom is diversity, and so we have to use this diversity in order to be truly free and generate sustainable economic growth. In my opinion, this is the best way of creating a long-term path for generations to come. Thank you so much.